It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. Great game in store for y'all. And it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Certainly happy to have you along. Chase McLaughlin has it on the tee, and off we go here in Tampa. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A give to Robinson on the option. Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To the air goes Daniels. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. off the play fake. Daniels. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this one is we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. In motion left, Godwin. Mayfield to throw it. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And Godwin going to have a Bucs first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They will run for the first time here with White. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. It's caught by Mike Evans. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Throwing, Mayfield. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Slot man moves right. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Here's a screen for Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6. Here's Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 44-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Daniels looking to throw. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And now because of the sack, it's third and goal from the 14. Now Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Gay is on for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And Austin Eckler capped it off with the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Irvin. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd and 5. Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Baker going to give it to Irving. Down to the 41.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7. Mayfield on play action. The 20, 10, and all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. White will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. 2 yards to go, second down. To throw is Daniels. Pass incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Daniels. That is caught. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Back to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's into the hands of Eckler. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's 2nd and 10. To the air goes Daniels. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. It'll be a gain of 5. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 27-yard attempt here. Gay's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit. Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mayfield. That's caught by Durham. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 9. Play fake. Mayfield finding Evans here, going across the middle of the field. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. First down, here's White. Gets past one man, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll go up the middle with White. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Handoff running left, Irving. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A run up the middle with Irving. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw, Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So here's a 3rd and 14.
Mayfield to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20, Deebo Samuel. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 73 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. On the handoff, this is Irving.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff to Irving.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Right at the 40. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield.
And this one caught downfield by Evans.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Mayfield down.
Look at Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
In motion left, Godwin.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bucs are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa.
It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. Now Daniels.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Throwing now is Daniels. He's got a man on the comeback route. That's McLaurin.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down at the 28.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Handoff now to Robinson.
And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 24. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
To throw is Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
They'll start on the ground with Irving.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
They run out of the gun with Irving.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line.
The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Here's Daniels. That is caught, and he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Daniels looking to throw.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
12 more yards there and another first down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive.
Robinson with another carry.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Buccaneers offense and their running back, Bucky Irving, getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're at a situation, you cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Now Mayfield.
And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.